Hello everybody and welcome to Waggaz's Wings episode 9. In this episode we're going to look at escorting bombers and particularly how to use the bomber as a kind of dragon bag type situation. I've recruited my good friend IRFC Air Biscuit, or Jay, to help out. He's going to be flying the Gotha bomber in these videos. That little quote there at the beginning was from Arthur Gold Lee's wonderful autobiography No Parachute, where he describes many situations where the German forces would deliberately fly their reconnaissance aircraft low in order to ambush any unsuspecting British aircraft going to attack it. So here is Air Biscuit dropping his payload, onto a British airfield, an Allied airfield, and what a mess it creates. You'll see here that we take out at least 2 Allied aircraft. We decimate a Sopwith Camel and destroy an RE-8 at the other side of the airfield. So we've kicked up a hornet's nest and we've got some company. So a Camel and a Strutter pick up Air Biscuit on our return to base. Now I'm flying just slightly above and to the side of Air Biscuit, so I can stay above him as the guardian angel. Now in a lot of multiplayer servers, when they see a bandit sees a bomber, often they will get tunnel vision. So it's a really good way to get some kills. And it's actually not that difficult to escort a Gotha. So you see there the first of the 2 aircraft attacking Air Biscuit. I've done a huge amount of damage. Annoyingly on this server, because I'm connecting to the United States and the UK, a lot of my shots you'll see aren't registering, which is quite frustrating, but I still do enough damage. The good thing about the Gotha and the Handy Page Bomber is they can take an enormous amount of punishment. So even though here they're being attacked by at least 2 aircraft, he's still airborne. I think his gunner gets killed at some point during this engagement, but otherwise he's still going to make it back to base safely, and we're still going to get the points for that successful air raid. So there I've now been putting rounds into both aircraft, and the Camel is very, very severely damaged. I don't know what it is about multiplayer. I think it's where players are just desperate to get their points. But very often, even on an Icons On server, players will just ignore the fact that there's someone on their tail just because they're desperate to get the kill. On Icons Off servers, it's kind of a different case really, because very more often than not, because of tunnel vision, they just simply won't spot the secondary bandit above. In this case, I was about 500 meters above Air Biscuit, which was just enough there to not be noticed by these 2 aircraft. So you see there, I've done enough damage finally, regardless of the lag, to take out this Sopwith Camel and remove his wings. So there we go, a bit of a weird little effect there because of the lag, watching it bounce up and down. So the second example here is very similar to that quote from the Arthur Gould Lee book. We have a Sopwith Pup, which is what the aircraft that Arthur was flying in that excerpt, versus my Fout. So again, he's got pure tunnel vision, so I'm able to come up behind him pretty much totally unopposed. And just like in the previous example, I'm able to get a huge amount of shots into the Pup. One thing to watch out for here is that you don't hit the aircraft you're escorting. When you're coming in from a steeper angle, that's easier. You can make deflection shots. So here I've had to be very, very careful not to hit Air Biscuit. I think I might have even actually 1 or 2 of those rounds, because of the dispersion spread, may have actually hit him. So sorry about that, Jay, my friend. Now, why don't we have a little look at how that looked from Jay's view, from the Gotha. Now you'll see that the Pup is trying to pound away at this Gotha, just sitting on the tail. Another of the mistakes they're making here from this attacker is sitting on the tail of the bomber. You'll see here that Jay has equipped a Becker cannon to his rear gunner. So if the AI hadn't been so rubbish at firing back, he would have easily taken out that Pup in 1 or 2 shots there. So that is an example there of a very bad way of taking on a bomber. So you can see me looping round there for another pass, and he's really a goner here, so I can just finish him off. I think actually he'd switched off his engine at this point. I couldn't see this, so yeah, he knows he's done for. So I sweep in, I blow off one of his ailerons, and I suspect his wing is going to snap off. I believe that's what now happens, because he's taken so much damage onto that wing. So there is our third kill of the day for myself and Jay. So we're getting lots of kills, not to mention the kills we get for bombing the enemy airfield. In this last example, we're going to watch again another Fokker D7F flown by myself against a SPAD 7. And again, you see, I've taken that position to the high 6, maybe high 7 o'clock of Jay. So I'm diving in here. He's got tunnel vision. He's just focusing on trying to get his shots in. So he really is a sitting duck. He's a nice, easy target. So I'm able to get in a lot of shots there. Unfortunately, my gun jams. Now, I do apologise after all the rude things I've said about the D7F. Here I am flying it. But I'm afraid to say it is a superb aircraft, the D7F. Particularly here, Jay and I were at about 1,000 metres. So you can start engaging the altitude throttle from about 500 metres height. You don't need to engage it at too high a heights, actually. Now for a bit of bonus footage, I thought I'd share a few of our additional bombing runs. Poor old Mal here, ST Mal, really gets it. He gets blown up 3 times in a row, once by me, once by another bomber, and then again by me in the third pass. So the poor chap here gets it 3 times in a row. And unfortunately on this server there was only one takeoff point. I felt quite bad about this, so I stopped doing it. Didn't want to be too much of a troll, and I did apologise to Mal. He's a friend, so he took it quite well. So here there's someone flying an RE8, a Harry Tate, who looks like they're quite drunk flying, so they're all over the shot. Yeah, there we go. So the third time there, poor old Mal gets it in a bombing run. So I hope you enjoyed that. So here I come into land with the D7F. I hope you found that useful. Escorting a bomber can be a good opportunity actually to get quite a lot of ambush kills. And if your escort is flying the Gotha, like Jay was there, the Gotha can take quite a pounding. So particularly if you have 2 escorts, you can really do a lot of damage. So taking out a bomber is not an easy feat. So I hope again that you found that useful, and thank you so much, Jay, for all your help. Once again, thank you to all the Rise of Flight community for supporting me on these videos. There's going to be a special video coming up soon, which will hopefully be a live action Waggaz's Wigs in a real life aircraft. So cheers again everybody, salute, and see you in the skies.